What's up, guys? How you doing? Hope you're having a good night, afternoon, whenever this is that you're seeing it. I'm Jules. Thanks for coming back. It is the very end of January today. It's January 31st. You'll be seeing this video on February 1st, and I'm so glad it's February. It's we're about 12, 13 days away from my back fusion surgery, and I am beyond ready to go get this done. So hopefully that'll come quick. If you're a little curious about it, I put I put like only 3 videos I think out on my back fusion channel, whatever. It's mostly just to kind of keep family up to date on kind of what's going on with that, so I don't talk about it too much here. So it's very eventful week for me in terms of cross stitch. I did a fair bit. I kind of wish I had been able to do more, but the return of the split in my thumb that I get sometimes when I am cross stitching too much came back. It's that little bit right there that I get that split in the thumb. It's just so uncomfortable. I actually went and got these little, well, didn't go, I kind of ordered them to see what I would, what I thought of them. I know that looks a little weird, but that one's for like my first finger, like that finger, and then I got this one for my thumb. So theoretically, theoretically you could, not hit your thumb or just, do this one or whatever. And I'm kind of trying to get used to it because it's a piece of plastic. Cross stitch is all about feel, especially for me, with two-handed stitching, which is where I'm feeding the needle with a thread up through the fabric and then pulling it out and going back down. I do a lot of two-handed stitching now, and this just feels weird. And so it's just like anything else. I'm just gonna have to kind of get used to it, but I figure it would probably protect my thumb especially. So maybe I'm just gonna wear it on my thumb for now, and we'll see, because that's the only spot that really I have the issue with the skin kind of splitting like that. So it was unfortunate because I think I got it because I was stitching so much, especially last Thursday and Friday night. What was I stitching on, you ask? I was actually kind of strange, but pulled out the roller frame and started stitching back on this one. Now, this one hasn't been around for a while. This is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial pattern that I have, that one of my own patterns that I developed. And so I like it. I like it a lot. I'm really, really interested to see what this thing turns out. I mean, I know how it's going to turn out looking, but I want to do it because I think it's going to be just amazing. So I got a little bit done. I think I only got about 150 stitches done, kind of in this area, up in here, but we haven't gotten very far. And by we, I mean me. But yeah, but it's coming along. So I'm using my old roller frame. And there's videos about the roller frame that I did a couple years back. I do really like it. I like it for certain projects. My issue with the roller frame, my only issue is really just getting this as tight as it can be, and sometimes that's just hard. That's difficult because I don't know, maybe because I'm not using enough of the pincher things, what do you want to call them, because I got these little hooks and these little bands, and I got both of them on Etsy, because people always ask me whenever I show them, but they kind of hold on to create some tension, and they're, I think that's kind of what they're called. They're like fabric tensioners or something. So anyway, so I was really happy to pull this one out and actually start working on it again. That felt pretty good until the thumb split, but what are you gonna do? And then crazy me started working on this other project. I don't know if you guys will even be interested in it or not. It's just kind of, it's a personal pet project of mine. Hold on, wait, gotta take the hoop out. But I actually did, it wasn't very many. It was like 30 stitches on this one. I don't know. What do you guys think of this one? But might be. So can you see the bottom corner down there? That's what I did. And the reason why I started stitching on that one down there is because I have this pattern loaded up into, and you know what? I need to wash this thing. It is like, it's gotten dirty. It's kind of faded with time. But the reason why I started in the bottom quarter is because I was able to take the pattern and put it into Pattern Keeper. But when I was stitching on it back a couple years ago, whenever it was, I somehow, I think it was when I was using paper, and I got off a row or two. So I was stitching incorrectly, and now I'm not really 100% sure exactly where I'm supposed to be. So I figure, hey, let's start in the bottom right corner. I'm going to absolutely know that those stitches are the ones that go in that corner, and then I'll just work my way up and around, and we'll just fill it in from the bottom up. But this is a cross stitch collectibles cross stitch, and I gotta tell you, it really does look pretty dang good when you get it from a distance in good lighting. This one's coming in nicely. If you're a more recent subscriber or follower, this was a very popular, and still is a popular project on the channel that I just kind of put away and stopped working on when I started my own designs. But part of my 2024 getting myself back, you know, to having fun and loving cross stitch and loving, I mean, I love pattern making, but loving the actual process of cross stitch. I'm like, I got to get back on some of these different patterns that I have. So I got this one. I asked you guys as far as, well, I didn't ask you guys. I think I just told you that I was actually going to try and see if I could get the digitized versions of like Apothecary Shop and my baseball pattern, and I got those. So, oh boy, but one at a time, kids, one at a time, like one of these at a time. So, let me see if I can pull up on my handy dandy trusted little, oh, pause for just a second. Okay, so I'm actually going to hope that I put that photo up of what it's supposed to look like up above of Apothecary Shop and even baseball. Baseball, I'm kind of questioning whether or not I want to finish it like work on it, but I have so many big cross stitch projects everywhere that I just hope that I'm, I don't know, I'm hoping I'm finishing these down the road. So, but anyway, so Rainy Waterloo Place is what this one's called, from Cross Stitch Collectibles. So it's pretty cool. I think it's like 80,000 stitches or something ridiculous. Apothecary Shop's over 100,000 stitches, people. And I thought my cross stitch patterns were big. Not as big as those. All right, and the next up is I actually worked on my little mini frog. So it's starting to come together a little bit. I'm about 25, 28% along with this one. Got about 500 or 600 stitches on it this week. You can't really tell, but hopefully looking at the completed one. Well, I got some bright lights with some shadows going on here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, so it's coming along. I'm doing this on 18 count fabric and 2/1 full cross stitch. So I'm eager to see what this thing is going to look like when there's more stitches put into it. I think I worked on, I don't know if I showed you guys this one last week. I got a big piece of 307 kind of hanging out from it, but this was my mini Colorado Mountains. I worked on it, I think, a little bit this week. It was very early in the week, I think, when I worked on it, so I'm not sure if it was this week or last week. But there's that one. It's gotten kind of fuzzy everywhere. And then, of course, the piece de résistance. Okay. Old World Map 2. Anyway, so last week I kind of was working on this darker area, and this week I actually came back and I was working a lot on this area. I think I got some more done up here as well. I might have also gone back and done some more. I've got way too much shadows. I got to put up one more light so I don't have more shadows, or don't have these kinds of shadows. But so I also went back and kind of filled in a little bit here and there and just kind of helped myself, kind of got myself around there. What's the word I'm trying to find? Oh, so I have my 400 stitches a week thing. I caught up. I didn't catch up. I caught up from the week before. So I think I'm still down a couple hundred. I wrote it down somewhere, just probably can't find it anymore, but I wrote it down somewhere. But I think I still need to do like 150, 200 stitches for this next week. And I was going to look at it real quick because I crossed 9% I crossed 9% done, so 62,856 stitches done. A lot to go. A lot to go. So, yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that. You know, that's actually like, it's like 7 apothecary shops. That's all that it is. It's like a 7 apothecary shops. That's not bad. So we got this one going on. So I wanted to make up, what's the word? I wanted to make up like not space or time, the stitch count. I wanted to kind of make up the stitch count. So that's why I went to these, because there was a lot of like 7, oh man, the shadows, the 712s and the 3033s and all those good ones in there. So, but I'm gonna definitely make this one the priority this week and just get caught up on the stitch count. So hopefully that will do it. That will take care of it. So, all right, next up, I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I did go through a lot of my old cross stitch stuff last week. Not everything. I'm saving a little bit to go through because it's fun to pull a little bit out, kind of look at it, go through it, then don't do it all at once, because then it like dilutes out like what you're looking at. So all right, so now I'm going to show you guys the patterns that have been put on the store, stitchingjewelsdesign.com, as well as the Etsy store, the same name. But I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, I think I got myself together finally. So there are 5 in the store as of right now that I'm recording, and the next one that I'm going to publish as soon as this video is over. So I don't think I've shown you guys these. The only one that's in color, because the rest are monochrome, the only one's in color is actually a redo of a pattern from way back. It's one of my first patterns that I did, and can I, come on, there we go. Ah. Okay, I'll do it like this so you guys can see, but it's just a colorful spiral. And so it's basically just a pattern for if you just want a really awesome color, you know, colorful look to it. If you want to call it the Milky Way or something, feel free, but that's not really what it is. I call it Colorful Spiral, and right now it's in the new section on both the website and the Etsy store. 260 by 200 with 39 colors. Before it was like 25% bigger, I think, and it had like almost twice as many colors. So I'm just kind of, you know, you guys have known that over the months and whatnot. I've talked occasionally about wanting to go back and kind of redo a lot of those patterns I did in the first like year of designing, just because I've gotten so much better as a designer, and I feel like I want to make stuff that is fun to stitch and easy to stitch, and so I think I can make some of these better. But yeah, we'll see. So there's that one. Let's see here, and then so some of these whatchamacallit, vintage. Here's one. Oh, can hardly see her. So this is a very vertical pattern. I call this one Vintage Woman. Very original, I know. So again, it's just a monochrome. So it's the black or whatever, you know, color floss you want to use on light color fabric. And yeah, I like it. It's 63 by 263. So it is definitely something that, you know, if you like vertical ones, kind of like my Eiffel Tower. I almost said Empire State Building. That's not what it is. Okay, I can't pull up the... Is it like 3,000 stitches? It's not a ton of stitches. So anyway, I can't read anything. I got glasses. I could read. I've got glasses. And it's out of focus. And I think it's like 3,500 stitches-ish. So there you go. There it works. There we go. All right. I'm scatterbrained tonight. I know I'm scatterbrained. All right, see which one. Okay, so the next one is another one of those architecture type cross stitches, kind of like the walkway, spiral staircase, you know, for people who like those kinds of patterns. And I call this one Basilica because really it's actually like the dome or the ceiling of the inside of a basilica, or which is for me would be like an old, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but it's a term used for like a religious building, like a church, in Europe mostly, over the last so many years, or decades, centuries, whatnot. So, but anyway, enough of that. So there's basilica, and it's a decent sized pattern. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of stitching along with like walkway and whatnot. So, but it came out really nice. I really like it, of course. Let's see, what are the dimensions? 380 by 280. So it's like a big. So there's a fair bit of stitching going on there. So, but it's on the stores right now, and I hope you guys are interested. Let's see. All right, then I got two here that I think you're gonna like. Three. So I have you guys know that I stitch in Apothecary Shop. This is Apothecary Shop from Cross Stitch Collectibles, but now I'm actually doing an Apothecary Shop from my store in monochrome, but it's actually a sign. So it's a sign for an old Apothecary Shop, which is like a pharmacy basically in olden times. But here we go. So yeah, so let's see. Let me get that zoomed in as much as I can. So yeah, so again, just one color floss. That's all you need with some nice fabric. And you can do whatever you want to with it. But that one's, I like that one a lot. That's funny. It's 380 by 280. Was the other one 280 by 3? Anyway, very similar in size to the last one as well. So, but not nearly as many stitches. So, good deal, good deal. All right, so that's Apothecary Shop. And then, okay, this is the one that I think you guys are gonna like the most, I think. Let me see, can I zoom it in? So I've done a wolf counter cross stitch, but I haven't done, I think I have a pop-up, there we go. But I haven't done anything like this, so to speak. This is another monochrome. Hold on to your pants, people, or your socks, or whatever you got on right now. There you go, kids. I call this one Spirit Wolf, Lone Wolf, Spirit Wolf, something like that. But there it is. It's all one color, kiddos. It's pretty gorgeous, if I do say so myself. I thought the image was fantastic. So, ooh, wait. Go back. Hold on. Ah, now I know how to use my, there we go. So, if I zoom in for you guys, I don't know if you can see the individual stitches there. So, individual stitches, pull it out, and bam. Yeah, gorgeous. What do you guys, would white be best? Would gray be best on that? I'm not sure. I don't really know for sure, like, what would be the absolute best thing. But, and then the last one is one that I am getting ready to put up right now. It's a little different. I call this one Angel Statue, and I'm going to explain a little bit about her here in a second. But, again, another monochrome. So this angel statue does not have any hands on it. There are no hands on her arms, so to speak. I can't remember. That's really what the actual statue looks like. That is an actual statue someplace in Europe. And I don't know why she doesn't have hands. I'm not sure if they just have fallen off, like when they've moved her or something happened. I don't really know for sure. Or him, her, I have no idea. But yeah, there's that, and that one's 230 by 307. So, and even less stitching to do. Zoom in. I know, I'm sorry I always have to get my head over here, but that's just because I want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm talking about. How? There you go. So yeah. So there's that one. That always reminds me of Doctor Who, with the angels that, the statues that are like the angels, and in Doctor Who, it's a thing where it's like don't look or something. When you look at a statue, like it's like these creepy angel statues, and if you look at them, they're frozen. But then you kind of close your eyes, you blink, or you look away, and then you look back, and then all of a sudden they're like, whoa! They're like right there. Somehow they move when you don't look at them. So it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. So there's all of those. I'm still going to have a lot of stuff coming out. There's so much to come out, and there are some more monochrome designs that are on the verge of coming out. But there's a lot of color stuff too that is gonna, I hope, blow some of y'all socks off again. And so blow the other sock off. So I hope you guys are, are loving it, loving the designs. I just keep looking for better ways to do things, and better things to do. Some of these, when you're stitching a cross stitch project, sometimes you'll stitch it because you love koalas, you love sea turtles, maybe you love the lioness. But other times maybe it means something to you, like the cowboy here could, remind you of something, or maybe Paris, went to the Eiffel Tower, or little mini Book Street here. There's a lot of different reasons to love what you're stitching, and I just kind of want to put so many different things out that if you want to cross stitch something that you're going to love and you're going to put up on your wall, and you're just going to, every time you see it, just be like, I did that. I just, something like that. I mean, because I have stuff that I'm equally as proud of, especially like Rainy Waterwood Place and Old World Map 2, whenever that gets done. But yeah, so, because y'all, you should absolutely love what you stitch. So, wow, I can't believe it's February. Thank goodness it's February. I am not sure if I'm going to actually, I'm probably not making it all next week at work. This morning was pretty hard. It took about 3-4 hours for me to warm up, so that I could get up and move around and carry stuff and feel, not as painful. But we'll see how tomorrow goes and how Friday goes, but I may start kind of cutting back a little bit before the actual date of surgery. So, yeah, and I know I've kind of stopped doing the Stitch With Me's, and I explained that a few weeks ago. It's just difficult for me to kind of get in that position to do a Stitch With Me and to hold that for as long as I need to for a video. When I'm actually stitching on my own, I fidget a lot, I move a lot, I get up and get down, I'm doing a lot of different things, so it's a lot easier for me. So that's why those haven't happened. They will eventually come back, but it's going to have to happen after I can recover enough from the surgery that I can actually record one. So we'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, so yeah, I guess I should say something. So at one point in our family abode here, we had a lot of animals. We had 7 dogs, a cat, a couple parakeets, fish, a bunch of fish, an axolotl. I think that's it. And over the last like 2-3 years, really kind of since COVID, we've just been having a lot of attrition. And this last like 12 months we lost Zuzu. Not too long before that, we had lost Binky, we had lost Jelly. Fargo was before that. And this past 7 to 10 days or so, probably a week and a half to 2 weeks, we also lost Doogie, and we lost Bailey. Oh, I shouldn't say that we lost them. I to be perfectly honest, I had them put down. Was a very difficult decision, and honestly overdue. You never really know. I mean, I've been a vet. I was a veterinarian for 22 years. I stopped practicing in 2022 for a variety of reasons. But, I'd always in the past, I felt like I always had a dog that would tell me. Like, they've always told me when it's time. And this time, like with Doogie, he's been the way he had been the way he was for a while, and which was lack of personality, senile, like just totally senile, very paranoid, just didn't know what was outside, what was inside. I just, he had a lot of issues, and so knowing that my surgery's coming up, He's also a dog that's underfoot all the time. Like he had this way of, if you were walking someplace and he was in front of you, like he was blocking your way, whatever way you turn to, like, all right, let me just get around him, he'd go right in that direction. And I can't tell you how many times that he's almost tripped me, almost made me fall down the stairs. I mean, so many times, because he's just always been in the way, and I couldn't have that, with surgery coming up with the back fusion. But honestly, that's kind of what finally made me make the decision. But um, it was so long overdue, and as evidence, I think, by kind of how I feel about it now. Like I feel like it finally freed him, so he could go back to the way he used to be when he was a little happy little boy wagging his tail. And um, but so and around the same time, also, we had Bailey put down, and Bailey was Mama Bailey. She was the true leader of the pack of animals we had here. She was the one who was always the boss and in charge. Um, After Zuzu passed away, she really started to kind of show her age. I think Zuzu was sort of like, even though they kind of didn't really get along very well most of the time, because Bailey was always trying to, like, tell Zuzu what to do, and Zuzu was like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, just leave me alone. That but when Zuzu was gone and Bailey didn't have that outlet, she really kind of got old kind of quick. And over the last 4 weeks, or no, 3 weeks, I think, she had started to not use one of her back legs. She was three-legged. When we got her, well, about 6 months after we got her, I discovered that she had really, really bad hips, and didn't really have the money or the desire to basically do a hip replacement, which would have helped her a lot. But she had pain medication, she toughed it out, and she was still crazy until about 2 weeks before we put her down. She lived to be, like, she was 16. She was a 45, 50-pound dog, and she was 16 years old. So, but what actually was the tipping point, not just the three-leggedness, there were two things that happened. One was there was a morning where she couldn't really use either of her back legs, and she eventually got them going. But I'm like, man, if she's getting to this point, the end is near. But then what really started happening was she got extremely anxious, and she was not a dog with anxiety. She was an alpha dog with so much confidence and intelligence. To see her basically, like, starting to cling on to me in ways that she had never done before, I knew that I felt like, she knew that she was kind of going, and she was afraid, or she just didn't know. It's hard to say what it was, but for sure. But Bailey is as close to me and a dog. My husband used to joke that she and I were so much alike, just in how we acted and what we did and everything. I never climbed the fence. That's not true. I did climb the fence that one time. Anyway, that's the story for another day. But she used to climb our 6-foot fence and get over, and like, with her feet. And so, but she was, she needed to, she needed to be let go as well. And for her, when you have a dog like that physically is, like, even with pain medication, she's unable to kind of walk normally, and she's really struggling to get up and move around. And then to emotionally have that issue, I always think about it this way: like, I'm giving her all the medications that should be helping her, and they're no longer helping her. So to me, at 16, today is the best day she's going to have for the rest of her life, because tomorrow is likely not to be as good, and the day after that is probably not going to be as good. There's certainly never going to be better, we'll say that. So that's just something that I learned over, honestly, 30 years of working closely with animals. And so anyway, so it was tough, but I think it was the right, I know it was the right decision for both of them, and it was the right decision for us. And Topher is now an only child, and he is having some issues because he's never been by himself here. He was dog number 3 of all the dogs that we got. And the reality is, I think we had like 8 or 9 dogs kind of cycle through, but no more than 7 at a time. Um, so he's by himself now. He gets all the love and attention. Um, and he stays pretty close to us when we're home. And I think we're talking about it. We'll see what happens, but hopefully maybe this summer or this fall, we may get a second dog, one that would provide him with some comfort and some companionship, but also for us, like something that we're gonna, um, hopefully a younger dog without any health issues, and that's something that we can have for a really long time. Because I mean, Topher's 13, so you know, and if you guys have been watching the channel for a long time, you'll know that Topher had a really bad stroke like 4 or 5 years ago, like right in front of us, flat out on the floor, full out stroke. He was gone in his, like his eyes were just, he was just gone, and he couldn't move. And it took him about an hour to the point where he could get up, but his right side just barely could use it, barely could use it. And there's not a ton you can do when a dog has a stroke like that. You're just kind of nursing him through, just trying to help him out. I did give him some CBD, pretty hefty dose at the time, which would hopefully help to kind of calm down some of the things that were going on in his brain. And he recovered. I mean, it took him like a month, I think, to get to the point where he was fairly normal. But the only thing that he retained was just he still limps on his right front foot. So it's amazing. But and I don't know why. Obviously there was no reason to know why he had the stroke. It's been 4 or 5 years. He hasn't had another one. He's never had any seizures. So we're hopeful that we're going to still have him for at least a couple more years. We'll see, but but anyway. Okay, I've been babbling on for a really long time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've got one more video. Oh my gosh, I have one more video before my surgery. Holy cow. Wow. I'll probably record one the night before my surgery and just give you guys an update on the cross-stitch stuff so that you'll have something for that week. And then I should be able to record a video that following week. I'm hoping I'll be able to have, be able to do some cross-stitch at some point, and that'll be fun. And we'll see how that goes. So, all right then. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.